Welcome back to NerdVine. We're in the pool again. It's a lovely day, and every day is worth celebrating with the pool, also with bubbles. Okay, that was a little bit of cheesy opening, but I do always have a lot of bubbles on hand. The whole idea that we celebrate with bubbles dates back to kind of the beginnings of champagnes, and it was honestly like a little bit of a marketing scam, but why not? Bubbles are super fun, and while I am admittedly a huge champagne fan, we've mentioned this, there are so many other bubbly options. So we'll eventually get to cava from Spain, and the somewhat, sort of new on the scene, the Franciacorta, which hopefully I'm pronouncing correctly. But today we're going to talk about an oldie but goodie Prosecco. Actually, speaking of pronunciation, our local wine manager, Nick, he's always like, buy the Prosecco, and well, because he's Italian, and I think people just buy it because he's so charming. We're having another ADHD day today. Just stick with me. Prosecco, similar to rosé, and actually kind of like champagne. Well, anyway, it's not now named after the grape varietal. It was at one time. Prosecco actually has a super cool history where it was the Prosecco grape, and then, like champagne, people were just calling sparkling wines Prosecco. So the Italian authorities renamed the grape Glera. So now, true Prosecco is made from at least 85% Glera grapes and can only come from 3 designated appellations in Italy. If you don't remember what appellations are, go back and see the vocab video. Prosecco is a great start to an event because it's usually like a medium-high acidity and fruity without being too sweet. So it'll pair really nicely with your antipastas, cured meats, almonds. So you can definitely do like a charcuterie board. And remember, your charcuterie doesn't have to be fancy. I love looking at beautiful charcuterie boards on the internet while, just eating some things off a plate. Again, the ADHD today. The other fun part about Prosecco is it's made using the Charmat method. So that's the name I first learned for this fermentation method. It is also called the tank method, cuvée closée, autoclave, and I've even heard it called the Italian method, so whatever. Tank method is probably the most descriptive because the bubbles are derived from the second fermentation process, which occurs in a tank, vice champagne second fermentation process, which occurs in the bottle. So this method gives the Prosecco bigger, gentler bubbles than champagne typically. So for those who find the intensity of the champagne bubbles a little off-putting, Prosecco can be a really lovely alternative, and it's also usually more budget-friendly. For example, this Corvetto, Prosecco from Veneto is 100% organic, 100% Glera, and a single vintage, and it was a whopping $18. Also, again, shameless plug, Vinoculture, lovely Kira down in Virginia, so if you ever find yourself in Norfolk, go check it out, see her, check out her selection. But seriously, so there's a lot of street cred in the wine world for not a lot of dollars. Also, this bottle is a fun shape, and while it won't float like the rosé bottle did, I'm such a sucker for fun bottles, so let's give this a whirl. I just realized I forgot a cloth to hold on to the cork and cage, so we'll see if I explode this into the neighbor's yard. Da-da-da, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Never fails. And then we hold it at an angle. I also brought out the floating wine glasses. And bear with me. Oh, that was way too loud. But the smoke's always so cool. It's not smoke, but you know what I mean. Alright, so these are our floating wine glasses. I don't know, I can't actually see because of the glare. So I have no idea if you can see this. The wine glass floats. Pour this without messing this up. Oh, I'm gonna get it in the pool. Go back. Oh, I just poured super heavy because of it. Aren't these fun? They're like a housewarming gift. I'm obsessed. They're way too big for bubbles, and they're also plastic, but I mean, whatever. Okay. It smells like honeydew. And something very zesty citrus. Is that right? It's not citrus though. maybe pear, but like specifically white pear, not like the, I think it's the Bartlett pears that are brown. Ooh, there's some floral too. Yeah, I mean, these bubbles are perfect. They don't linger too long. They're just like, hello, we're bubbles. And then they sort of dissipate gently, friendly, nice. The flavor is very subtle, but I mean, this has a good finish on it. I hope you're also drinking something so that I'm not just awkwardly drinking in front of you. I still get honeydew, white pear, and something I need to work. I'm working, I'm developing with you. Oh, this is 11.5, okay. Oh man, you could just drink this whole bottle. Well, anyway, yeah, that's today's lesson on Prosecco. So, we will be talking about more bubbles. I still want to talk about like Frizzante versus Spumante. I need to talk a little more about the fun and slightly feminist history of champagne. I already have, I've started planning one for Pet Nat, which, if you're like, what's a Pet Nat? Well, great question. Tune in for that episode. And then next week's episode will be on food pairings. So if you're sitting here and you're like, London, it's great that you're telling us what to drink, but like, what the heck do I eat? I'm hungry. Make sure you tune in next week to join me for some food and wine pairings. And as always, if you like and subscribe, obviously that will help you get notifications when videos go up, and that way you don't have to remember it because our brain space is busy. So, as always, cheers! I'm gonna float away with my floating wine glass.